Greetings, my beautiful lovelies. It's Emmy. How are you? It's great to see you and welcome back. Today's video is sponsored by Blueland. Blueland are the makers of effective, eco-friendly, refillable cleaners that use no single-use plastic. And Blueland has no plastic waste. That includes the packaging, the box that it's shipped in. Everything is either recyclable or compostable. Blueland products are hypoallergenic and are sourced from vegan and non-GMO ingredients. I recently was introduced to the Blueland dishwasher tablets and I love them. They're super effective and they don't have any of that plastic coating on the detergent. It comes in this metal tin and the dishwashing detergent tabs come in a paper bag. I am highly sensitive to fragrances and perfumes, so I really appreciate that these are fragrance free. 60 tablets, so this will do 60 washes. Important. You just load one of these up into your detergent hopper and wash like you would normally. There's no need to use any rinse aid whatsoever. And my dishes come out beautifully clean. And Blueland products are affordable. You can save even more money by purchasing refills in bulk or setting up a subscription so you never run out. So Blueland is sharing a special offer to all of my beautiful lovelies. You can click the link down below or head over to blueland.com/emmymade to receive 15% off your first kit. Big thanks to Blueland for sponsoring this video and for allowing me to make better videos for all of you. So today we're going to be attempting to make a bread that looks so stinking adorable. It was inspired by a bakery found in South Korea called La Bakery, and they make little breads in the shape of a whole roasted chicken. And inside is a chicken filling. It looks slightly spicy and chili. It has a little bit of American cheese, but it just looks so stinking cute. It looks like a little mini stuffed holiday turkey. It's burnished with a beautiful brown color and it looks absolutely delectable. There's another version that looks like an emoji drumstick. It just looks so stinking cute. It too is filled with a chicken filling, but it's a drumstick and it has this beautiful brown color to it. They also do wings that you can dip in what I'm assuming is a cheese sauce. They just look absolutely stunning, but everything is made out of bread. But what I'm really intrigued about is the bread seems to look a lot like a soft pretzel. There's just this beautiful mahogany color to them, and I really want one. So we're going to be attempting to make a homemade version today. So the pretzel recipe that I'll be adapting comes from the New York Times, and I will put a link to that original video and recipe down below. So the first thing we're going to do is bloom our yeast. We're using dry active yeast, and it needs to be reconstituted and hydrated in some water. So I've got some warm water here along with a little bit of brown sugar. That's to feed the yeast and get them started on their bubble making journey. Set that aside for a few minutes. So in the bowl of my stand mixer, I've got some pre-measured bread flour along with brown sugar, salt, and some butter that I've cut up into little cubes. And this is at room temperature. Now I imagine, like most bread making recipes, you don't need to make this in the stand mixer. It just helps speed things along. And now I'm going to use my hands to kind of incorporate the butter into the flour. We're going to add our yeast mixture. So our dough's been mixing for about 5 minutes and the dough is so beautiful. Look at it. Look how smooth it is. Now we're going to place it on some plastic wrap and wrap it kind of loosely because this is going to expand. And we're going to place this in the refrigerator and let it rest for at least 8 hours, up to 24 hours, so overnight. Many hours later, we have our rested dough. We are going to be stuffing these little breads with some chicken filling I made earlier. Here's the finished filling. And I made it really simply. I purchased 2 pre-cooked grilled chicken breasts from the supermarket. I chopped them up and I seasoned mine with the seasoning packets from One Samyang spicy chicken instant ramen, including the little seasoning flakes as well. Added that to the chicken, stir fry that, add a little bit of soy sauce, a pinch of sugar, stirred that up, tasted it for seasoning, add a little salt and pepper if you like. It's plenty spicy in my opinion. And then I just sauteed it until everything was warmed through, and I've let it cool on this plate completely before we stuff it. I'm gonna divide this dough into half to make it a little bit easier to manage. So the chicken is made out of one central piece and it has some wing pieces. So that's going to be the main body, and the wing pieces I'm going to divide into pieces like this. I'm just pinching the seams in and then narrowing that part right there, so that will be like the little drumstick. Look, so easy. Cute. And then these will be the wing tips. So we've got two little tapered pieces like that. And now this is going to be the main central portion. And I'm gonna roll this out. And then we're gonna take a slice of American cheese, lay that right into the middle, then take the chicken, draw up the sides. Okay. Pinch, 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 pinch. Shape it like that, and then use my little wing tips here and add a little bit of water. Place the ball on top like that. Add a little bit of water around the top so it helps stick it, and then we're gonna wrap these wing tips over. Okay, cute. Stick one leg on. Oh my gosh, look. So chubby and cute. I love it. Now we're gonna make a drumstick version. So we have the stick, cut the tip in half so it forks like this. And I will roll this one a little bit wider. Place cheese inside, a little bit of our stuffing. Fold this up. I'm gonna place the bone of the drumstick right in there. See that? I'm gonna let these chill in the fridge for about an hour. Alrighty, my lovelies, so while my doughs are cooling, I wanna talk a little bit about what's going on in this baking dish. This contains baked baking soda. So I took some baking soda, got a bunch of it, dumped it into this oven-safe dish and baked it at 300 degrees for 1 hour. This cooks out some of the water and it concentrates the alkalinity of the baking soda. Now, why do we want to do this? Well, we're going to be creating an alkaline bath for our pretzel doughs to swim around it, and that is the secret to the beautiful burnished brown colors of the soft pretzels and that pretzel-y flavor. You know what I'm talking about? The flavor that separates pretzels from just being bread. That flavor comes from this alkaline bath. Now, often sodium hydroxide is used, which is essentially lye. It's used in soap making, it's used in preparations like 1,000-year-old eggs. It's very basic, not like that basic, but the opposite of an acid, and concentrated and effective, but it's also very corrosive. And so you can use baking soda instead. You can use regular baking soda, or you can bake it to make it more alkaline, which I've never done before. I've never done this, so I wanted to try it. So that's what we have here. My baking soda is completely cooled off, and we're going to create a little alkaline bath. To 4 cups of cold water, I am going to dissolve a half a cup of my concentrated baking soda. Now we're going to place our little dough friends into the bath. I'm going to let them sit in there for a few minutes. Look how stinking cute. Slip it right into there so it can soak in there. Isn't that wild? Never done anything like that in my life. Swimming in their bath. Alrighty, so it's been about 3 minutes. Let us grab our little dough friends out. Boop, so cute. And now we're going to pop these into preheated 425-degree oven and bake them for about 15 to 20 minutes or until everything is nice and golden and fully cooked. And then we're going to give these little friends a taste. Cannot wait! Alrighty, my lovelies, my little pretzel chickens have completely baked and they turned out alright. Here is the full-size chicken, browned up very nicely. The shape is a little bit quirky, isn't it? I don't think you can tell that it's supposed to be a whole chicken. I think these slits here that I made make it a little bit confusing, but I can see the wings, and the drumsticks are a little bit fatter and chubbier. They should be a little bit thinner, I think, but not bad, I would say, for my first try. And here is my little drumstick. Got a little bit darker on the tail there, but it looks almost more like a little fish than a drumstick, but still pretty proud of my first try. So they've had some time to cool, so let's just cut it open and see what it's like inside. Ta-da! Looks pretty good. Alrighty, let's give it a taste. Itadakimasu. Cheese and the chicken go so nicely together. That filling, delicious. Pretzel dough is pretty good. Nice chew on the outside with that delicious signature soft pretzel flavor that can only happen when you use an alkaline bath on the outside. Totally got it spot on. The layers of my pretzel are a little bit thick on top as opposed to on the bottom, but that's just user error. But the texture is fantastic. Because we use bread flour, the bread has a really nice chew to it, but that filling is fantastic. A little bit spicy, intensely savory. Goes really well with the cheese. A little bit smoky because we use grilled chicken. This one's gonna be exactly the same, but let's go ahead and cut it open and see what it looks like inside. Ooh, that one's much more even. Look at that. That one's like perfectly even. Let's give that one a taste. In terms of an eating experience, this one's a lot better because it's a lot more uniform. You've got a nice layer of pretzel on the top and the bottom, and then you've got the generous filling in the middle. Again, that great combination of spicy chicken with lovely creamy cheese. Delicious. Now, going to the lengths to make this actually look like a chicken is extra time. I still think you can enjoy this recipe by simply just making little buns filled with a filling and just keep them round. Save yourself a lot of time and still really enjoy this tasty treat. Thanks so much for watching, and big thanks to Blueland for sponsoring this video. If you'd like to try Blueland for yourself, please click the link down below or head over to blueland.com/emmymade to receive 15% off your first kit. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media, like this video, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Toodaloo, take care, bye! I am so full.